Up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers. It is Thursday morning, 11 a.m. in New York, 9 a.m. here in Costa Rica, 8 a.m. in Los Angeles, California. And it's April 18th. You're watching Betting with the Bag. Man, coming off a big day, 11-5 in MLB for myself. DJ Big Boss came on the show, dropped 2 bangers, went 2-0 with his plays yesterday. Shout out to DJ Big Boss. It's Holy Week down here in Costa Rica, so it's just Freddie and I in this giant office. It's the holiday down here. It's just Freddie and I rolling. Shout out to Lamont Williams, says, good morning, my max bet cash Boston solo team total over. Great work. We got Matt Randall. Taint play today, hitting at an alarmingly successful rate right now. Demetrius Miller, Tommy Bolt, Joe Rich Ramirez, Walla Dose, and then here is Nut Flush Allen, who we've missed dearly. One of the original low baggers, a man I care so much about. I got to hang out with him and his son at the LA Bag in LA. It was just wonderful to run. I also hung out with Nut Flush Allen and his wife at IFBC back in the summer. And he says, good morning, low bag family. Sorry I've been missing in action, but going through an extremely tough time with my mom that was completely unexpected. I will say, take each day with your loved ones as a special one. I realized I need the low bag family right now more than ever. Man, we have so much love for you, Nut Flush Allen, and it's wonderful to see you back here. And we are sending strength and love to your mom and to your family. Man, we have so much love for you and just want you to know that. A big hug from us to you. Walla Dose in the house. We got Stephen Dollery, Drew Daddy, Joe Rich Ramirez, Silvar Malco in the house. Alex Ramirez. Mikey D says the abs are beautiful. Joe Rich, as I said, we got Ron Lofton, Sweaty Butcher, Sharp Money, Eric Jones, Base Kniff, Robert Jerry, Kobe Williams says Dallas. I told Nashville ain't winning the series. Yeah, looking back at yesterday's action, I mean, I hit with another Heritage prop, so it's 5 straight there. But, man, the over in the Bruins-Leafs game, I mean, I talked about it on the show, but didn't pull the trigger. Didn't have balls to pull the trigger. I guess I just having a tough playoff, and just my balls are disappearing. No balls place. No balls place. Matt Randall says, wow, for someone to share that information and make time for the show when they're going through so much. That's exactly what this show is all about. We are all here for each other. And we are a fam. We are a fam. And this means the whole world to me, hanging with you guys and being a part of this. It lifts me up when I'm down and just means the world to me. We got Serious Business, JF, Coco, Bongo, Jeff, Joseph, Eddie Euler said, sorry about that National Dallas OT play. Man, don't worry, Eddie Euler. That's one of those plays that you need to play every game for that to be successful, so don't even worry about that. Von Polo, my man. Von Polo, I was thinking about you yesterday so much. I guess 2 nights ago, really, when I was watching the Penguins go down in flames and you talk about me with the Kings in the first round last year, man. Love you, Von Polo. Thank you for joining us. We got Mikey D. We got Fitz You. We got You Change You. Says, I'm betting Avs every game. Well, you'll be going right up against me because I will be taking the Flames on the puck line next game, and I will be taking the Flames to win the series at plus 320. Every year, somebody comes back from 3-1. Every year. And that team usually goes all the way to Stanley Cup final. Now, I'm not saying that the Flames can beat the Knights next round, but we got Richie Rich in the house. Viper NB. What a great group. Troy V, Daffire TV, PRC Publicist. Man, what a great group. Al Duque in the house. I told you guys it was an NBA chalk day yesterday. Man, I hit with the over in Jazz Rockets, but made a late play that ended up being a blunder. Took Joe Ingles 3-pointers over 2.5 at plus 120. He had every opportunity. Viper NB says, Jimmy, how about my parlay? Viper NB, that was gorgeous. That was probably the bet of the day yesterday, I would say, on our show. 400 to win 1,200. Beautiful 3-team parlay. Eddie Ola says, at least I took the Bruins. Alex Ramirez, Spidey's pick of the day, 4-0. 4-0, Spidey's pick of the day from Alex Ramirez. Yeah, when something starts out 4-0, we have to keep an eye on it. So shout out to Alex Ramirez. Great stuff. Jeff Joseph loving the under with the Jays today. I'm not entirely sold on Pineda, but Buchholz just looks so good for the last year and a half. But Alex Ramirez, looking forward to hear your Spidey pick of the day. And I rolled with you. I doubled up. Twins first half, full game. Absolutely beautiful. Brian Watson, Red Girl. Von Polo says, love you, Jimmy. I was trying to save you from the sweep. I felt bad catching New York Islanders reverse puck line and money line because I knew you didn't catch. No, Von Polo, don't feel bad. at all. It's been a great hockey season for me, and but if this is just what's going to happen every year, I rip up the regular season and get hurt in the playoffs. We're going to have to put an end to that at some point. But Von Polo, I have so much love for you. You're another original low bagger whom just gives incredible insights and a great guy that we're very thankful to run with. Okay, Sharp Money says, love that Tottenham play yesterday. Russell Gordon says, Patrick Corbin back at minus 200. Fade again. Told you last week the same thing. Another great capper, Russell Gordon. Mr. Gogerster says, Northern Dancer. Yes, that was Northern Dancer. Almost every horse in North America's grandfather is the great Northern Dancer out of Canada. Man, that guy loved to fuck. All right, so Demetrius Miller says, Celtics with a backdoor cover almost gave me a heart attack. Mally Mal in the house. And CT Bay says, tail DJ Big Boss on that Angels under. That was a great play. But so was his Nationals play. And we had a great day here yesterday in the chat and overall. There's a lot of winners coming up. 7-teamer for $400 over Bruins, Calgary under 6, Rockets -7, Celtics -7, Bucks -15, and Mariners under 8. A 7-teamer, 400. That's incredibly beautiful. Okay. Troy V says, grab Vegas even money this morning. I'm a little uncomfortable with it, but I'm not going to take the Sharks. But let's get to work. Right now. PRC Publicist says the Blue Jacket that beat the Tampa is Lake Erie Monster. 4 guys from this team on the Jackets. The coach is now an Avalanche coach. Bold prediction, Stanley Cup Finals, Blue Jackets versus Avalanche. Well, you get paid a ton of money for that. Okay, let's get to work. Eddie Oler saying going with Capitals, Hurricanes under 6 again. I'm not even so sure about that, but we're going to start with the baseball games as they are morning games. Then we're going to break down NHL and NBA, and then we're going to have Babano joining us shortly. So, much love to you guys. We got Gas Station Sushi in the house. And let's get to work, man. We got Jesse Daly. We got Dom Ricci. Beautiful. We got a great group. Let's get to work. So, we're going to start with this baseball card. And there's some spots I like. And I'm coming off a 11-5 day, which should have been more. I mean, lot of money left on the table, not back in the Rays first half and full game. Some mistakes, but whatever. We're 11-5. 11-5. So remember I said at the beginning of the week, if I could just win each week, by next week I'll be at single digits down and so on and so on. Because I started the year down 23 units in MLB, which is just horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. I should wipe that goddamn smile right off my face. Freddie, my man, can we throw up the MLB record? It's improved a little bit, but it's basically where it was when I came in Monday. Still horrifying. Let's fix it right here. Diamondbacks at Braves. 72 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 10 miles per hour in. Luke Weaver versus Mike Soroka. There was some thought that it might be Tukey, but it's going to be Soroka. Diamondbacks are rating 247, 756 OPS versus righties. Braves are rating 253, 778 OPS versus righties. And Thursdays are a very important day to check lineups. Make sure you have who you need in the lineup for victories. Let's look at this Diamondbacks club, and you're already seeing Vargas, Flores, 1-2, third base, second base. Peralta, Jones, Walker, Christian Walker playing very well. We'll get into that. Cattell, Marte, Tim LeCastro, Carson Kelly. That's an ugly lineup. That's a very, very ugly lineup, and this Braves team has seen a lot of Weaver. Ozzie Albies, I know Weaver's just a rookie last year. Ozzie Albies, Camargo, Freeman, Acuna, Markakis, Swanson, Flowers, Enciarte, and Soroka. Man, that is an ugly, ugly lineup for the D-backs. Diamondbacks have won 3 straight. Will be trying to sweep this series in Atlanta. Christian Walker rolling. He replaced Jake Lamb. He looked bad at first, 2 for 24 with 12 Ks, and then he's rolling. He has 5 homers now in the season, all of them coming in the 7th inning or later. Wow. Walker's hitting .611 in the 7th inning or later with 1 double, 5 homers, 9 ribbies, 2 walks. Weaver looked good in his last start against the Padres. Weaver, I had him in the baseball pool last year, and I was high on him, but he just kind of got worse as the season went on. Freddie Freeman continues to roll. He's reached base in his first 17 games this season. He's going over after the Atlanta Braves record to open the season. Eddie Matthews, 37-61. J.D. Drew, 27 in 2004. Acuna extended his hitting streak to 8 games. He's rolling. That's Dave L.A.'s pick to be the National League Most Valuable Player. Soroka made 5 starts for Atlanta last year, went 2-1 with 3.51 ERA. Calgary kid, Canadian. Struck out 21, walked 7 in 25 2/3. He began the season in AAA. And I have his numbers here in Gwinnett. 9 in the third, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 home run allowed, 1 walk, 10 Ks. And this Atlanta bullpen's been a mess. An absolute mess. I don't even know if we can trust the bullpen. But I do think the Braves take care of business. But is there value betting them? Let's check it out right now. Minus 160. Wow, a 34-cent move to Atlanta. I guess the lineups were showing, and then just a huge move to Atlanta. Wow. That might be a little much, And do we trust Soroka? I mean, the kid's 21 years old. And Luke Weaver's very young too, but I don't know. I don't know if we do that. Oh, wow. Don Ricci will be leaving today on vacation. We love you, Don Ricci. Safe travels. I Am Axman says the Soroka is supposed to be the real deal, but come on. I agree. Shout out to King Rail joining us. Eddie Euler, Atlanta, minus 166 is a bit ridiculous. Ben Sports 24/7 on Atlanta, minus 1.5. And we got that taint play today with Matt Randall, who's been hitting hard. Oh, yeah, he's got the Angels. I love it, Matt Randall. That's a copy and paster for me. Russell Gordy says, stay off Braves at minus 160. Nope. You're absolutely right. Wow, Jeff Joseph, thank you, man. Jimmy says, Jeff Joseph said, Jimmy, my wife Camilla, very impressed with your breakdowns, loves your passion. Jeff Joseph, please send my love to Camilla. Camilla, if you're watching right now, it is so sweet that you cap with your husband. You're a very lucky man, Jeff. Please be good to her. Keep her close. And what a great combination you two must be, man. I can't wait to head to the track with you guys. Okay, so let's keep rolling. And I just can't take the Braves at this big of a favorite line. Regardless of how good Soroka looks, I mean, it's just too much. This is one ugly lineup. Maybe the under is a spot with how ugly this lineup is if we believe in Weaver moving forward. Let's see what we get in the total here. Full game totals. Full game totals 9. Maybe that's the play. I'm not going to make a move here. Matt Randall says, very, very lucky man. Yes, Jeff Joseph is a very lucky man. We got JD Sportsnut in the house. Yeah, Sean Robinson said 162 is a lot of games. Won't be back. It won't be in the won't be in the black backing minus 165 home faves. Remo says, sounds like there's a love connection between Jimmy and Camilla. There is, but it's about respect. I respect Camilla very, very much for sitting beside Jeff Joseph watching the show as he caps and capping together. That's what keeps a couple together, capping together. Russell Gordy liking the under first 5 in Atlanta. Yeah, I don't. You know what? I'm going to stay off of it. I obviously missed the spot to back the Braves. Should have gone on it when before the lineups came out. Let's move on to Giants Nationals. Take a look at what we are dealing with. Pomeranz versus Corbin. Sportsbookreview.com. Let's take a look at odds here. We got minus open Corbin and the Nationals open at minus 210. Now down to 185, 188 at BetOnline. So that's a 22-cent move towards the Giants. This total opened at 8 and is now at 7.5. Lamont Williams says, my max bet Spurs. Oh, I can't wait to talk about basketball and NBA and NHL. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Okay, let's keep rolling. Annette Gogliardo says, Braves bats will come alive today. It's not that I don't think they will. Riku Rosa says, is Braves Diamondbacks under 9 a good play? I mean, that's what I'm questioning. Looking at that, I just don't know if I can trust Weaver even against the weak lineup. And Soroka, this is a tough... Sorry, Weaver's going up against a tough lineup in the Braves, and Soroka's going up against a weak lineup. Drew Daddy has no score in the first. White Sox, Detroit. That makes sense. And Russell Gordy says, fade, Corbin. You know the drill. Corbin, 19 innings, 17 hits, 6 earned runs, but he's allowed 4 home runs, 4 walks, 24 Ks. To me, it seems like he's starting to get his shit together. But I hear what you're saying, Russell. Giants are hitting just 233, 638 OPS versus lefties. Seems like a nice position for him, but 73 Fahrenheit, wind 8 miles per hour out. He certainly doesn't look like the Corbin of last year. Don Regis says Nats games with Corbin have been going over. I think this one does as well. Nats pen, not good. Yeah, I could see that. Nationals are smashing lefties. 291, 888 OPS. Jeff Joseph says, I so know that, guys. I'm very, very lucky. Shakes my gambling in stride and is with me at the track all the time. She's my angel. Man, that sounds real nice, man. Sounds real nice. Okay, let's break this down. Washington 196 on Wednesday, got 4 homers, but had to use Sean Doolittle because Austin Williams gave up 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th. So Or sorry, I guess that's to be the top of the ninth. Patrick Corbin, 4-1 in the last 7 starts against the Giants. He's had the Giants number. National second baseman Dozier out of the starting lineup Wednesday. And then we already know that Eric Kratz is going to be in the lineup. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with if we are taking the over. Yeah. Dugar, Austin, Pilar, Belt, Longoria, Crawford, Solarte, Kratz, Pomerantz. And then Robles, Rendon, Soto, Zimmerman, Gomez, Dozier, Difo. And then Taylor turning the lineup over. I mean, that total is what, down to 7.5? I guess I find that appealing at 7.5. I guess I find that somewhat appealing. Don Reach says, Eddie, I bet this Braves under. I guess, that makes sense. Roger T says 72% of public money on Atlanta sounds like a trap. Ben Sports 24/7 says, I like the Giants in this spot. Don't trust Corbin. I guess I do like the 7.5. CT Bay says Nets Pen gives us the over on a nightly basis, and now we're getting just a 7.5. That seems quite appealing. The wind's blowing out. Shout out to Stooch. We got MVP Sports Picks in the house. I am Axman says taking a punt on that huge Giants price with that Nets Pen. I get it. I'm going to jump on this over. Pomerantz, Corbin, Giants, Nationals. I mean, 7.5 is not too difficult. And with this horrifying Nationals bullpen and knowing that Doolittle's not going to be there. I mean, these two pitchers have already given up 7 home runs combined. Okay, I'm going to come in on that over. Let's just take one more look at that lineup. Do we trust it? Rendon, Soto, 2-3, looking good. Robles has to turn the lineup to get on base. Zimmerman, Gomez, Dozier. Dozier's back in the lineup. I guess that helps. All right. Now, Brandon Belt, we don't really want him in against lefties, but with no Posey, I guess you need him. Mikey D says Giants team total over is 3.5. David H says San Fran can't score runs. Okay, I'm just going to leave that as a lean right now and take time to think of it. MVP Sportsbook says first 5 over low-hanging fruit. Don Reed says, my girl watches Mets with me, but when it comes to hockey, she puts the earplugs in her laptop. Come on, get her going on the ice, man. Okay, let's move on to White Sox Tigers here. White Sox Tigers, Nova versus Ross. We got a total of 8.5. That was another spot, just leaving money on the table, letting the market concern me. Easy should have had that double up on the unders in that game. White Sox, Detroit. So let's go to, money lines and totals here. We are getting pretty much an even money situation between White Sox and the Tigers have always had Nova's number. Tomorino says Dozier has struggled. Nationals lineup is still producing, though. And CTB says everyone scores on that Nats pen. MVP Sports Picks like in the Tigers, baby. All right, let's break it down. 66 Fahrenheit overcast. And, geez, look at that wind. 17 miles per hour in. Nova's not looked very good, but coming out of training camp, he said, I feel great. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to show them what I can do. Mally Mal, like in the Tigers, -1.5 at +170. Russell Gordon says Tigers under trend. And look at that weather. Does all the sites have it that windy coming in? This one says right to left. That's a little different. MVP Sportsbook says Tigers are cranking today. White Sox are hitting 245, 758 OPS versus righties. Tigers are not hitting righties at all. 200, 590 OPS. White Sox had a 3-game winning streak snapped in a 4-3 10-inning loss to Kansas City on Wednesday. And that was all with Tim Anderson's bat flip and the dugouts being emptied. I like that Brad Keller hit him. And I kind of like that Tim Anderson flipped his bat. Let's make this sport more exciting, Anderson's been the hottest hitter on the team. 424 average, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. Yoan Moncada also got hit with the ball, sliding the base, negative for a concussion. He's been rolling right now. And there's my man, Jin Remy says, if you want to improve your sports betting game theory and learn throughout numbers, take a peek at my Twitter, Oddsmaker Stats. After theory practice will show up, free and helpful content. Enjoy your day. Yes, and I completely vouch for Jin Remy. Definitely follow him on Oddsmaker Stats. He just got on. We've been asking him to be on Twitter forever, and he just came on in the last week. I'm very excited to see what he does with the account. I expect big things from our man, Jin Remy. Daniel Palco was optioned to AAA Charlotte. was in the 0 for 32 slump. Now we got Nova, 2 quality starts with 1 bad one. He limited Cleveland Indians to 1 run in 7 innings. Then he got lit up by the Mariners and then held the Yankees to 1 run in 6 innings. But Tigers have been a very tough spot for Nova in his career. 0-3, 5.36 ERA against them. Detroit looking to snap a 5-game losing streak. Tyson Ross took the loss Saturday against the Twins. Second time in 3 starts this year. He walked 4 batters, and each time he walks 4 batters, he winds up with a defeat. But he's gone at least 6 innings in each of his past 2 starts. Tough. And Eddie always says wind blowing in. That's what I have too, Eddie. But this one side says it's left to right. But I have it blowing in. Yeah, I find that under appealing. I do. I find it appealing. There's no doubt about it. And this time, the market isn't going against us. It is again, actually. It's going to the over again. Why? Under 8.5. BetOnline has not moved it since the opening. I think it's a move. I think the under's the move. Okay, I'm going to, and no score in first, says Drew Daddy. I'm going to leave that as a lean to the under at this point and not making a move there. Okay, let's talk about Jays Twins. Now, I just need to say these things out loud and talk to you guys about them, but I think I will make moves on those 2 totals there. But let's keep rolling. All right. Blue Jays Twins, 48 Fahrenheit cold, 10 miles per hour sideways, partly cloudy. Buchholz against Pineda. Buchholz looked great in his first start. 6 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 2 Ks in 6 innings. 34 years old. I mean, he's not throwing in the upper 90s anymore. He's topping out at 89.6 miles per hour, but he's just such a smart pitcher, 4-2, 3.76 ERA, 13 career appearances against the Twins. Pineda, 2-4, 3.98 ERA, and 13 career appearances. Now, his fastball is still mid-90s, and it's been a long time. I mean, this guy sat out the end of 2017 and the entire 2018 season after Tommy John surgery. Buchholz signed in early March, and he was on the 10-day injured list due to a right hip flexor. I mean, let's take a look at these lineups. I believe Toronto's is confirmed. No, Toronto's is still not confirmed. Let me see if I can fix that right now. See if I can get a confirmed line. No, still can't get one. But McKinney, Galvis, Smoke, Grichuk, Tellez, Hernandez, Drury, Hansen, Jansen against Kepler, Polanco, Cruz, Rosario, Cron, Gonzalez, Astudillo, Scope, and Buxton. Man, Eddie Obasolan says, I'm taking the Twins. Clay Buchholz got really lucky last start. JD Sport not liking the over. Let's see what this money line and the total is. The total's at 8.5. There are some 8s. I kind of like the under in this spot. David H says Twins at minus 175 pass. Shout out to our guy David H. Nows. Troy V liking the first 5 under. Mally Mouse says Pineda will give hits to the Jays. Eddie always says this Jays Twins game looks like an under game. I think so too. Eddie Obasolan, can you talk a little bit more about exactly what went down in that Buchholz start? Because I did not watch it. Tom Marino says Buchholz usually good at the beginning of the year when healthy. I mean, I like that under 8.5. But it is moving up to the 8. I do. I like that under 8.5. I think that Jays lineup is easy to pitch to. And Buchholz is just a smart pitcher. And it's going to be freezing cold with 10 miles per hour winds. Okay, I think I'm going to make a move on those plays. And Riku Roxas is on the Blue Jays under. Eddie Oiler said Jays are 7-12 to the under. Don Carleone S is on the under as well. Russell Gordy like Jays first 5. I get it. I get why you guys would like Jays early. There's a ton of money to be made against Pineda. I just don't know if I trust this offense enough. Okay, I've had a little bit of time to think about these spots, and I'm going to make a move on them. So let's go to totals here. Full game. Giants, Nationals. I am going to take the over 7.5. I'm getting over 7.5 at minus 107 at Pinnacle, but I don't like going. Pinnacle is leading the way towards the under. Let's see how fast this has moved at Pinnacle. Totals. It did go down to 7.5 at 9 a.m. and then back up to 8 and then back down to 7.5. But it did open at 8.5. Wow, I'm sure that's where Jin Rummy got it if he wanted the under. Okay. Jeff Joseph says Buchholz will prove to be the best signing for the Jays, showing leadership in the clubhouse as well, and love this under. Eddie Obasolan says Buchholz let a lot of men on. Rays just didn't cash in. Very shaky start from Clay. Raul Rogers said, lost my voice at the game yesterday. Love hearing that you were there, Raul Rogers. Much love to you, my man. Okay, I'm going to make moves on these. And Base Kniff says Clay sucks. He'll have a bad start today. And Don Ricci just locked in the Braves under and the Nats over. Okay, I'm going to make moves here. I'm going to fire. So I'm going to jump on this full game over in the Giants-Nationals game. I'm getting over 7.5 at minus 107. Over 7.5 at minus 107. I'm going to book it. Okay, then White Sox at Tigers. I am going to take the full game under. White Sox at Tigers. Let's see what I'm getting. I'm getting under 8.5. Wow. You know what? Pinnacle just moved it to a 9. Okay, I'm not going to. But I think that weather, I'm just not going to succeed if I keep going up against Pinnacle. It's just not, there's no way there's going to be success there. Michael Irvelina says Buchholz is old and getting to be more washed up. I just feel like going up against Pinnacle is going to be bad. Okay, that scares me. That really scares me. So, yeah, Don Reach says we really need to get a good consensus weather site. I agree, because it's all over the map. You know, the White Sox, Tigers being hammered to the over makes me uncomfortable. Ron Crawford joining us at Chart Play, San Diego, New York, Seattle, Tampa Bay. That's a copy and paste. MVP Sportsbook says Felix going to pitch jam today. Rem Mo takes take under 9 at Penny. No, Rem, if it's just not going to work long term if we keep going up against Pinnacle. They're too sharp of a book. Okay, so I don't know exactly what to do. I mean, Dizzy Rossing says under 9 means they have to score 10 runs to lose. I know. I get it. But why are they moving to 9? Don Corleone says take the first 5 under. I'm fine with these bullpens. Let's pull up the bullpens right now. Get the bullpen rankings up here because the bullpens have been good for both. Bullpen rankings. Let's take a look right now. All right, sorry, I got the hockey notes here. I can't wait to talk NHL. So here we are in this White Sox. Oh, well, the White Sox bullpen's been trash. Let's see, but this Tigers bullpen's been good. 4th in the league right now, holding opponents to a 200 batting average. And the White Sox is actually improving. It's actually improving. Yeah, it's just not going to work. And already taking that over 7.5, I'm going up against Pinnacle. I just can't do it. Now, I didn't do it yesterday and it hurt me. But it's going to hurt, I know cappers these days that stop capping. They just advantage bet. And they use Pinnacle or Bookmaker to do that. Corey Dickerson says Tigers 5-2. Okay, I guess I'm going to hold off at this point. Let's hear what Babano has to say. And then this Blue Jays Twins under. Let's take a look at that. I was once having a ton. Oh, here, look, Ralph Pawanda with his totals here. Got to copy and paste that. And Jim Remy says, that being said, does mean some opportunities against market movement don't exist. I agree. And I don't want to be too afraid here. All right, I'm just dropping in my man Ralph Pawand's totals here. Okay, let's keep rolling down the line here with this baseball card. And let's see what I would get if I wanted to take. And let's see what they're doing with the market here on the under. Again, this moving up to 8.5. But Bookmaker's still hanging in 8. Pinnacle has taken this to 8.5. But it opened. It's been going back and forth from 8.5 to 8, 8.5 to 8. So that doesn't scare me too much. I think this Jays lineup should be easy to go up against. Man. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to hold off on that under. I'm going to take a little bit more time, and we're going to have Babano on. He knows this Jays team inside and out. Ramos says, we all know market movement doesn't mean shit. Pacers Celtics last night on the total. And again, I'm not talking about the market movement anymore. I'm just talking about Pinnacle and Bookmaker. That's all I'm talking about. Poppy Longwood says, Jimmy, you second-guess yourself too much. Go with your gut, my brother. You're right. And that screwed me. My Tuesday was screwed because I didn't go with my gut. But let's just keep moving on and see if there's better angles here. Royals, Yankees. Homer Bailey versus Domingo Germán. Homer Bailey, 17 innings, 15 hits, 10 earned runs, 3 home runs allowed, 6 walks, 21 Ks. He's looked okay. Herman's only gone 13 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 0 home runs allowed, 7 walks, 14 Ks. Mikey D says on Yanks large, got the run line minus 105. And Jim Remy says going against markets should only happen like 10 to 20% of your entire betting. Not so often, guys. I agree with that. Okay, let's keep rolling right here with this Yanks Royal spot. Bailey Herman. The total is at 9. And let's see what this money line is at. And Molly Miles says Herman is the new super run line. Let's see what we're getting with them. The money moving towards the Yankees. I knew that the Yankees would be a public play here because of Bailey, but I'm not one of those guys who's just going to automatically fade Bailey in this spot. In fact, I find that that under could be somewhat appealing, but I'm not going to take that. Russell Gordon says Homer tricked us last out. Okay, I'm not going to make a move on this spot here. It's a later game, so we can talk about it on the late show. Let's keep rolling because we need to talk NHL, and I've got moves to make on this NHL card and NBA. So we got 5 games left. Let's get through them, at least in the next 9 minutes. If we don't make moves on them, that is fine. Let's just at least begin the discussions around them. Dodgers at Brewers. Let's start there. The total opened at 9. It's now at 9.5. Not a lot of runs scored yesterday. Urias has looked susceptible. Davies coming off a nice start against these Dodgers, but they just saw him. Both teams are smashed. Dodgers are smashing righties, 283, 889 OPS. Brewers are smashing lefties, 308, 928 OPS. Brewers will host this Dodgers team for a 4-game series just 4 days after they took 2-3 against the Dodgers last weekend. Milwaukee won the first 2 games and then lost the last one. Yelich did not have a good series. 2 for 12, no RBIs, a walk. Wow, no RBIs, no walks, no extra base hits. So Zach Davies, second time in 5 days. Does that mean they're going to be able to hit his changeup? He allowed just 1 earned run in his past 2 outings. He's rolling right now. You know, I think that Davies can continue to befuddle. That's what he does. That's just what he does. Jason M, no, we haven't got to that Rays game yet. That will be next. I lean Brew Crew, Annette Gagliardo liking the under. I'm going to take a look at what this is here. Yeah, I think Urias is going to get touched. And I just see Davies is one of those pitchers who, even when you see him a second time, it doesn't matter. And look at this. I mean, you're getting a nice spot with the Brewers. I certainly like him first 5. First 5. But money coming in on the Dodgers. It's now a plus line for the Brewers. Let's see. And you know what? God, I like the Brewers here. Robert Cherry says on the fence. Jimmy, I don't know if I can get ugly if I go. I don't know. It can get ugly if I go against the Dodgers. They're on the road. Got to test their chin, even though they just seen Davies. CT Bay says, love the Brewers full game. We will get the Dodgers pen early. Base Kniff says 2 units on the Brewers. Only baseball game I really like. JD Sport not taking the Brewers at plus 1.5. Eddie Euler leaning towards the Brewers. Silvar Malco says Brewer Crew are good at home. Annette saying that Dodgers just had 3 hits yesterday against the Reds, and that was against Sonny Gray, who they made look like a Cy Young candidate, look like the old Sonny Gray. Well, I liked Milwaukee here. But again, I guess, is that just shout out to Playoff Streets joining us. Matt Randall says Moncado is officially in today. Good. Well, I guess that's not good maybe that's another reason why that total isn't going down. And Playoff Streets like in the over in the Braves game. All right, so with this Davies spot, I'm just hesitant to make a move. But I want to take the Brewers. I want to take the Brewers first 5 in full game. You know, I really think that they get to Urias. Even like a first 5 team total. Let's see what we get for a team total here. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong thing. Here we go. Team totals for the Brew Crew over 4.5 full game, but first 5 over 2.5 at plus 108. That's appealing to me. That's appealing to me. Jin Rummy talking about what the odds makers have. I love that, Jin Rummy. It's such a huge asset to us. Okay, let's talk about Orioles Rays. Cashner not looking good so far this year. 12 earned runs in 20 and a third. 4 home runs allowed, 11 walks, 9 Ks. And then we have another bullpen day. And these bullpen days just continue to deliver for this Rays team. 8 wins in their past 9. Trying to complete this 3-game sweep. Tampa crushed the Orioles 8-1 in that game last night. Hunter Wood will open. You know, he's not their best opener. Let's see what he's done this year. 4 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 home runs, 0 walks, 5 Ks. He's looked good. Annette Gagliardo liking a 4-2 Brewers. Yeah, I want to back the Brewers here. With Davies, it doesn't necessarily hurt having them. Russell said, Jimmy, take Milwaukee first 5 and full Dodgers. Interesting. Wow. I want to double up on the Brewers and take that first 5 team total over. Eddie Obasoan says, Rays know how to crush bad teams. I'm passing on this game. Cashner, looking for a 4th straight win. Wow. After losing opening day, 3-1, 5.31 ERA. But he's a guy I don't trust. Let's take a look here at what we're getting with Tampa. Not a huge line move today towards Tampa. That line's pretty much stayed the same, minus 244. You're going to have to pay the price if you want them. Not making a move there. Dodgers, Brewers, I want to make a move. I'm not going to make a move on the Rays at this point. I lost on my under. I screwed up that game yesterday. I only lost by a half run. Matt Randall said, Jimmy, my weather is in from right. 20 miles per hour in from right. I agree. Playoff streets, cash the Rays over. Yeah, nice work. Nice work. See what Dom has to say. Oh, let's not crown the Yankees yet off 2 home wins. I agree. Playoff street says Orioles will score today. Yeah, I think the second time in a row they use a bullpen day, I feel like the Rays are more susceptible. Eddie Euler says Rays went over by 1 yesterday. Their first over at home. Russell Gordy says no, Milwaukee first 5 and full. Oh, okay, thank you. Sorry. Thank you, Russell Gordy. I'm with you. Okay, I'm with you. Robert Cherry says I like the Orioles with the plus 225. This is something I did last year and it didn't work out that well. But on the second straight day of a bullpen day, I just figured that they wouldn't be firing their best guys. And it was something I liked to do, and it didn't work. Okay, I'm going to jump on my man Russell Gordy. I'm going to hammer the Brew Crew early. I'm going to take the Brew Crew first 5 here. Let's see what I'm getting. Milwaukee first 5. I'm getting a plus 103 at Bookmaker. God, I don't like when I'm going up against Bookmaker and Pinnacle all the time. It's just not going to be successful in the long run. First 5 plus 103. And then full game. Let's see what I get here. Full game. Full game with this Brew Crew. Again, plus 103, but this time at Bet Online. So full game plus 103 again. Okay, and then I am going to take the first 5 team total over. First 5 team total over. I think they get to Urias. I'm getting 2.5. Milwaukee over 2.5 at plus 108. First 5 team total over 2.5 at plus 108. That's available at Pinnacle. All right. Okay, let's go. Gin Rummy, I love this stuff. It says as Rays game fair. Rays minus 244. Orioles plus 244. 9 flat projected runs. I like it. Okay, let's keep rolling. Because we got to talk NHL. We got to talk NBA. So Phillies, Rockies. So it's time for me to make my first Coors Field fade of the season. I'm taking Colorado, the underdog, on the reverse run line. And I'm going to be charting the Coors Field fades, how they go this year, aside from everything else. So I'll let you guys know what the average line is, how it all works. So I'm going to get it up here. Now, Bet365 was giving us the best reverse run lines last year. I expect them to do the same again this year. So I'm taking the Rays. Let's get to it. The Rockies, excuse me. Taking the Rockies here on the reverse run line. And I am getting plus 195. All right, my first Coors Field fade of the year. Rockies minus 1.5 at plus 195. Let's book it. Let's absolutely book it. DJ Big Boss in the house. Shout out Big Boss. 2-0 yesterday on the show. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Okay. So I think Freeland can step back up. He's after a bad home start. I know this Rockies team can't hit righties at this point, but I don't feel like Eflin is. I just feel like Eflin can be touched. I feel like Eflin should be touched. Matt Randall says Dahl should be back in the lineup today. Eddie Oler saying Eflin gave up 3 home runs last outing. Torino says value of Colorado. Freeland strong at home. Eflin hasn't been consistent on the road. Philadelphia's bullpen is struggling. I agree with all of those comments, and we just need to keep moving on. But I absolutely agree with all of those comments. Now we have Mariners, Angels, and we have Stratton, Hernandez up against each other. And I don't trust either of these pitchers at all. I don't trust either of these pitchers. 75 Fahrenheit, 6 miles per hour out to right center. I want to back the Angels, but my fear of Stratton could get in the way. But this is a home start for him. Stratton was a first-round pick, right? He was like 25th overall or something. And I just never trusted him on the mound, ever. Never trusted him on the mound. And I don't know if I should here, but Matt Randall has the Angels on the taint play of the day. So this is an important game for us to talk about here. I do want to back the Angels against Hernandez. I want to back the Angels first half and full game. And then I also want to take the over. Let's see what we're talking about here and see what the line movement's been. Angels have just pretty much stayed the same. It opened at 9, and it's just been going up and up and up. It's already at 10 at Pinnacle. Well, that makes me feel better. I'd rather not be going against Pinnacle. So I'm going to make those moves. Robert Cherry says, how about the over? If they get hit, the runs will add up. I'm going to make these moves, but I just don't want to double up on... I don't want to quadruple up. I did a triple up yesterday and swept it. I did a triple up, 2 triple ups yesterday and went 3-0 on both. But I just don't want to do quadruple ups. I just feel like I got to make some decisions around that. Okay, so I'm going to figure that out. And then we got the Cincinnati. We got Rourke and Paddock up against each other. Reds, Padres. Padres have now lost 3 straight. That's a late game. And we need to get to NHL and NBA before Babano gets here. I am going to be making moves on this Mariners-Angels game. I just got to figure out exactly how to hammer. Russell Gordon said, Jimmy, all home teams win today. Travel day for a lot of visitors. And Matty Drama. Oh, God. Matty Drama, I love him so much. And so, I would absolutely love that. So... I'm just lost I don't know exactly what to say. I would absolutely love that, though. But okay, let's get to work here on this NHL card. So right now, I've got decisions to make, and hopefully Babano will clear some things up for me. But right now on this card, I've only made one move. I'm off Diamondbacks, Braves. I'm on the over 7.5 at -107 in Giants Nationals. I want to make a move on this under White Sox Tigers, and I still may. I want to make a move on this under in Blue Jays Twins, and I haven't yet. I'm going to stay off this Royals Yankees spot. Orioles Rays, I still need to sort of figure out. Oh, sorry, I'm on Brewers. I tripled up here. First 5 team total over 2.5 at +108, and I'm on Brewers first 5 at 103, +103, and full game at +103, so I hammered that. And then I'm on the what am I talking about? I'm on the Rockies -1.5 at +195. So the Coors Field fade, my first Coors Field fade of the year. And then I'm going to make moves on this Mariners-Angels game. And then Angel Romero says, what up, Jimmy? 2 morning soccer plays, Europa League, Valencia moneyline -135. Both teams to score, Copenhagen and Midtjylland at -167. Also parlay those 2 with Chelsea moneyline -330. Wow. Angel Romero, we need you on the show. Angel Romero, I followed him on Sunday night, I believe, and it was just an easy casher. Much love to our guy, Angel Romero. Okay. And Dom Reed said, I said watch Rockies next 10 games, 2-0 so far. Yeah, Dom, when Dom jumps on a trend, follow. This guy knows it. He knows when to jump on, and I'm going to jump on too. Okay, let's talk hockey. And then we're going to briefly discuss basketball, and then we're going to have Ski Profit joining us on the Late Show. First off, Capitals. I'm taking them tonight. I'm taking them to make it 3-1 so that they can win the series in 5. And I have a ton of respect for Brendan Moore and a ton of respect for the Hurricanes. Capitals hold a 2-1 series lead, but they lost 5-0. Now, Andrei Svechnikov knocked out by Ovechkin, and Ferland is hurt. So Svechnikov in concussion protocol, and Ferland has an upper body injury and won't be playing. Shout out to Harry Dubitsky in the house. Oh no, big boss on the under in the Giants game. That concerns me very much. Okay, I agree with you, Tomor. And the stuff about this hit, you know what? I didn't like it. But if you're a Capitals fan, if you're a Capitals coach, if you're a teammate of Ovechkin's, you want him playing with that edge. And Svechnikov maybe should have given him a little more respect. I don't know. I did not like seeing him get knocked out, that kid getting knocked out. And I had love and respect for Svechnikov going toe-to-toe with Ovechkin, but that's what happens. That's what happens. You get knocked the fuck out. So Washington 10-4 on the road the past 2 years. I do not think that this Capitals team, Holtby's rattled or the Capitals are rattled, anything like that. I am taking the Capitals here tonight. Let's take a look at what I'm getting. Washington Capitals plus 113 on the money line. I do not think this goes to 2-2. Ferland is a big loss. Svechnikov is a big loss. Tom Marino says it was a fight. Both players decided to fight. The Reaver says, Jimmy, that's hockey, baby. It's just that Svechnikov is, a kid. I mean, did he just turn 19? That's all that, and I just didn't like that. But it's hot. I love it. I love that part of the game. It's just, you see a kid get knocked out, and the way Ovechkin left that fight so quickly, you knew he'd hurt him. He'd hurt him bad. Michael Overland says, Ovian asked him if he was sure he wanted to fight. The kid nodded. Yeah, no, I get it. I'm just saying that I just don't like seeing a kid get knocked out by a vet like that. It's just something I just don't like seeing, but that's what happens. And Waldo said just turned 19. That's what happens. So no fault on Ovechkin. It's just something I just didn't really like seeing. That's all. I mean, maybe I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I'm becoming soft in my old age. So I'm on Capitals plus 113. Blues, Jets. Here we go. Series featured 4 straight wins by the road team. Winnipeg's top line is outplaying the Blues top line. And we saw that with the Bruins and the Leafs. Yeah, I mean, but the Leafs top line actually did play well enough. It's just the Bruins top line really stepped up. But this is out. Clearly, Winnipeg was down 2-0, had to go into St. Louis. That's very, very difficult. And they stepped up. They showed a lot of heart. And they should probably be backed in this game. They should probably be backed. And I guess at minus 120 or minus 125, minus 118 at Pinnacle. Jesus, minus 105 at Bovada. Wow, Bovada is hanging the Blues as a favorite. I got to double check this quickly. This is nuts. Is that a stale line? It isn't. Oh, it is. That's from 7:14 last night. I don't know if anybody could jump on Bovada right now. Someone could jump on Bovada right now. Eddie always said, Jimmy, is this the end for Big Joe? I don't think so. I hope not. I've loved watching him his whole career. So I think that the Jets carry the momentum. I really do. Tom Marino says St. Louis strong defensively. I don't see the offense go deep in the play. I lean under. You know what? I'm going to back what I just said. Kobe Williams says I'm all over the Blues tonight. It says Jets lose tonight. I think, and John Lax is minus 125 Bovada. Thank you. That felt like a stale line. I'm going to take the Jets here. I just think there's too much value. What the Jets did was very, very impressive. I love Kyle Connor, and now they've moved him on the line with Wheeler and Scheifele. That's just a dangerous, dangerous group, and I'm going to take them. I just think there's value here at minus 118. Minus 118 here at Pinnacle. I'm on the Jets. Minus 118 to take a 3-2 lead going back into St. Louis. And then Knights Sharks. I'm very uncomfortable with this spot. I certainly am not going to take the Sharks. And as you guys know, I took the Knights to win the Cup at plus 550 yesterday. I just think the Sharks team has too much skill and heart to not step up here. Maybe Joe Thornton needed the break. I'm just not, under any circumstances, am I going to take the Sharks here with the way the Knights are just completely outplaying them. But it looks like they're also going to get Mark-Edward Vlasic back, and he's extremely important. I know that he doesn't get enough of the light on defense when you got Burns leading the team in scoring and Carlson, both Burns and Carlson as perennial Norris candidates. But Hardy Party says Vegas Knights future bets to win West and Cup looking better and better. Yeah, I've got them to win the West at plus 450, win the Cup at plus 550. And that was just hedging. Basically. Hedging my Sharks bets. All said and done, RMK says hard to not go over 6 in Vegas Sharks with the way Jones is playing. Tijuana Dave says Vegas over 6. Mr. Goga says Sharks need Vlasic back. Tomer says Sharks look like a team with no identity. Their defense are strong offensively, but aren't great defensively, and the goalie plays weak. You're absolutely right, but Vlasic helps them defensively. Bob Taylor got Knights plus 800 to win the Cup. That's gorgeous. All right, so I'm going to stay off that game right now, but I am taking the Capitals at plus 113 and the Jets at minus 118. I like those spots. Now, let's just very, very quickly, shout out to Noli Nose joining us. And Ganja Gamer says Nashville will take the series. That's interesting, Ganja Gamers. Looking forward to watch this. We have Sixers at net, so let's just talk for 1 minute on each of those basketball games and then bring in our man Babano. Babano's been doing his playoff show now on the weekends with Ski Profit. So maybe we should just bring him in for these games quickly. Why don't we do that instead of having him on the sidelines? But we're going to briefly talk about NBA and then spend more time on NHL and MLB. Babano, my man, Thursday morning, love having you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us. How you doing?
Doing good, Jimmy. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you so much for doing such a spectacular job hosting the show in my steed. It was great, man. Great. Everyone loved you, and winner after winner after winner you were handing out that day, weren't you?
Well, and I also know what it feels like to have a sore throat and a little bit of a voice problem at the end of a show when you're talking for an hour straight. So I know some of the pain you go through now on a daily basis doing that. But it was a lot of fun. It was great to fill in for you on, what was it, Tuesday? Yeah, we did, I think, pretty good job with picks. I mean, I think we had more wins than losses. Certainly in the NBA we did. I think the hockey was pretty good that night as well. We liked Columbus. We liked the over in the Columbus game that night. So it was a good night of results on Tuesday. But let's see if we can give some more good results here on this Thursday card, NHL, NBA, baseball. Let's get to it.
I just want to touch on this NBA card very quickly because we haven't done that yet. So let's just quickly, just very, very tight, kind of just introduce the games, and then Ski Prof is going to be joining the late show. So let's start with Sixers Nets. Brooklyn opening the total at 227, now 228.5. And Philadelphia opening at minus 2.5 and minus 115 at BetOnline, now minus 3 and minus 119. Joel Embiid remains questionable, but you have to think that he's going to play here. Embiid was a completely different player in game 2. Stop fooling around at the three-point line. Get in the paint and be a man, and that's what he did here. He dominated the paint, went 8 for 12 inside the arc in game 2. And Ben Simmons stepped up in a big way, triple-double, 18, 12, and 10. I mean, they put up 145 points. I mean, this Sixers team was absolutely rolling. Now the Nets get their first home playoff game in 4 years. That was a pretty embarrassing game, but they have some locker room material after Jared Allen taking the elbow to the face and Embiid laughing at him. And Jared Allen just gets better and better and better every game. Oh, there's Ski Profit now. Says, I'm on Spurs minus 2.5 and the series plus 140. Took them yesterday morning. I saw you take them. Eddie Euler saying Nuggets Spurs under. We're going to get to that game. And Daryl Lyle saying over in Nets Sixers. You have any feel on what you think will happen game 3 here, Sixers Nets, Babano?
I'm going to lean Brooklyn here, and I took Brooklyn in Game 1 of this series. Game 2 was obviously the bounce-back spot for the Sixers, and they played very well. Tremendous game, tremendous third quarter, really, because actually they didn't play all that great in the first half. That game was tied, I believe, at halftime, and then suddenly the Sixers got things rolling a little bit in the second half. The third quarter is really what put them over the top, and they got great contributions from everybody. Ben Simmons had a triple-double. Joel Embiid had a phenomenal game as well against in Game 2, 23 points, 10 rebounds, and that's despite playing through that knee that's been bothering him. So they played well. The big guys stepped up. Butler was solid. The real underrated parts of the game was the bench stepped up, and I don't like this 76ers bench. I'm a little skeptical they can produce the way they did in Game 2 on that bench, but Mike Scott was a big difference maker. Not Bobano, but Boban. As in Marjanovic. He had a really good game as well in game number 2 for the 76ers, 16 points. So, again, the bench was good. And that's the one area in this series where I think Brooklyn, on paper, should have an edge with their bench over the 76ers in this series. But Philly's bench stepped up. But what do we say about these bench groups so far? It's easier to step up when you're on your home court and you're in a big kind of must-win situation like that was. You don't want to go down 0-2. Can you bring that same kind of performance now on the road with you to Brooklyn? You would think the Nets going to be fired up. As you mentioned, Jimmy, it's their, first home playoff game in 4 years. I don't know about win the series, but I said right from the get-go, Brooklyn's going to give Philadelphia all they can handle. They're going to have to start to clean things up on the glass. That's the concern. They've been outboarded plus 22 rebounding margin so far for Philadelphia in 2 games in this series. And that's not totally shocking. Embiid's a great rebounder. Simmons is a great rebounder. Allen, and there's not a lot of guys with size and strength in that low post for the Nets outside of Jarrett Allen. So that's a little bit of a matchup edge that Philly has and a concern for the Nets. But at this price, 3.5, and we've seen Sixers money taken. Look, Sixers are the better squad in terms of overall talent. But I've been shaky with them on the road at times. I don't think they've always played their best away from home. And I think Brooklyn, you get a step-up effort off the terrible second half they had the other night. So I'm going to make a point of looking toward betting Brooklyn here at plus 3.5.
Wow, yeah. King Rail joining us. Love seeing that. Thank you for joining us, King. He says, leaning Sixers. I think you're getting the right price for the Sixers at 3.5.
And I haven't bet it yet, Jimmy, and I didn't like it at the open. I said when it was 2.5, it actually opened, I think, 2.5.
Yeah.
Philadelphia. I'm like, that's not enough points for me yet to back Brooklyn because Philadelphia is still the better team talent-wise on paper. There's no question. You put these 2 rosters together, you'd want the Sixers roster every single day of the week. But this price is creeping up, and if it hits 4, I'll have some nets in pocket. 3.5 now, I still might, but I'll wait it out. Let's see if the line keeps climbing, but definitely leaning Brooklyn right now.
Yeah, I agree totally, completely. Well, I guess I just don't trust the Sixers at this point. But I guess I was reading a note. I don't. To me, it's a Sixers play or nothing. To be honest, I feel like the changes that they made in the second half are exactly what they have to do. Embiid's got to stay away from the three-point line and focus on the paint. And Ben Simmons has got to control Russell. I know that's hard to do, but he's got the length to do it. Maybe not the speed.
And stop settling for jump shots if you're Ben Simmons. Jump shooting's not your game.
Absolutely.
Attack the glass. Look for the offensive boards. Look for putbacks. Look for layups. Enough with this jump shooting nonsense. You're not good at it. You've never been good at it. Look to score ugly. Get inside that paint and just hammer that glass. That's where your strong suit is. Play to your strengths, for crying out loud.
No doubt. So let's see if we can speed up the process because I want you to touch on NHL. I want you to touch on MLB. We do have a game starting very, very soon. That first game on the board quickly. Let's just touch on this game. Do you have action on Arizona, Atlanta? Because I've decided to stay off of it.
Arizona. Oh, baseball. Jeez,
yeah.
I'm freaking blanking out for a second there. Yeah. Baseball. No, nothing on Arizona, Atlanta. Soroka's a kid I actually think's got some upside, got some talent. Doesn't mean I want to lay $1.75 with him here in this start, in an early start game. And Atlanta's bullpen's got problems. They blew the game last night against Arizona. That's a concern for me in the late innings. So, and you've already lost the value, and I'm just seeing it now. Soroka, I was like, how did this get up to minus 175? This was minus 130 at the open. So I'm telling you right now, don't bet Atlanta if you haven't bet them already. That's a long-term bad job on your part. If you're betting Atlanta minus 175 when you could add minus 130, that's not how you profit long-term doing this on a daily basis. So I don't have much on that game, Jim.
No, I'm off it too. And it was the lineup being introduced by the Diamondbacks. They're opening with Vargas and Flores. They have Carson Kelly behind the plate. When the lineup was announced, tons of money came on Atlanta immediately. Okay, sweet. Okay, so I don't have a play on that early game, but we'll go over all of MLB in a second. Thank you sorry about throwing that at you. Bobby Digital in the house, man. Bobby Digital been killing it. I follow him on Twitter. You should as well. Says he's coming in hot baseball. You sure? Okay, now let's get back to NBA here. Now, second game. I don't want to go up against Ski ever. And I feel like taking the Nuggets to win Game 3 on the money line. If they win, not betting them Game 4. If they lose Game 3 on the money line, taking them again in Game 4. I believe in this Nuggets team. I think they're a better basketball team than the Spurs. Now, maybe Pop can outcoach Malone. And yeah, Jamal Murray's having a wildly interesting series, and he's become too important to this team. But saying all that, I am going to take the Nuggets money line, but it keeps going up. So I'm going to keep an eye on the market. It's now up to plus 155. I will be taking the Nuggets money line tonight. And if they lose, I will be taking the money line in Game 4. Babano, I know I don't like going up against Ski, which is what I'm doing here. What do you think is going to happen in this game tonight?
I hate to tell you this, Jimmy, but I'm in Camp Ski Profit with this one. I like San Antonio in this series. I don't like what I see from Denver. Denver's played one good quarter in 8 quarters. One. That's it. That's it. San Antonio has been the better team for 7 quarters in this series. Denver's looked out of sorts. They're very fortunate that they got that huge rally. It was a great fourth quarter. Shots were going down. Everybody started to get some confidence again. But before that, let's not forget, even though it was a great comeback win for the Denver Nuggets in Game 2, they were down 17 points in the second quarter when they had already lost Game 1 at home. There's some issues right here. Michael Malone is doing this in the playoffs really for the first time. He's going up against a guy like Pop. Say what you will about the Spurs and their inconsistency. On the road they struggled this season. Their defense at times came and went in fits and starts, but they've got guys that have done this before in the playoffs. Bellinelli and Aldridge and DeRozan and guys that are grizzled playoff veterans that have done this many years in a row at postseason time. That's not quite what you're getting with the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray in particular, he looks like the playoff spotlight's affecting him a little bit in a negative fashion here. I think there's a bounce back and forth kind of series potentially. But I think San Antonio, knowing they let one get away, and DeRozan said it in his post-game quotes talking about, we let one get away, but we still got to split. We just need to go home and take care of business. I think they take care of business. I actually took San Antonio when it was -3. It's 3.5, gone up to 4. I agree with the line movement. I don't see enough to trust Denver yet on the road when they've been outplayed in 7 of 8 quarters in the first 2 games of this series. So I'm on the Spurs tonight.
Every single person in the chat is on the Spurs. Everybody's on the Spurs. Whole world's on the Spurs.
Maybe that's good for you then, because sometimes when it goes that way, you want to be on the side that nobody else is on.
The playoff spotlight is very difficult. And the Nuggets will get better as this season goes along. And they have a ton of different options with that roster. And the Spurs don't. This is a deeper team than the Spurs. And I'm not concerned about this. And I swear, they are going to get better as this series goes along. Headshot says, I'm on the Nuggets with you, Jimmy. So there's the first person. Now, everybody's saying those are 2 losses. We'll come back and we'll see. But I'm taking the Nuggets money line tonight. If they win, I won't take them in Game 4. If they lose, I'm taking them again in Game 4. My man Nut Flush Allen says, Jimmy Caden said, don't worry about his Warriors. I love it. Drew Daddy says, Nuggets, no playoff experience. They're getting it, and they're going to get better as the series goes along. So that's what's up. Okay, let's make a move. King Rail said, everyone was on Jazz yesterday. I had Rockets. You might be right today, Jimmy. I see value with the Nuggets figuring out how to play in the playoffs as this series goes along. They have a higher upside than the Spurs. Okay. Yo-Yo Street says, I'm with you. I'm on it with you, Jimmy. There we go. Gregorio Ruiz says, go Nuggets. Tomino says, Spurs bench is better to me. It's not. They played better. But they skill-wise, I don't think they have a better bench. Okay, so that's what's up now. Let's go Warriors, Clippers here. Warriors, Clippers. Let's go to spreads and totals. We have 8.5 for Golden State. The total opened at 237. It's now at 235. And man, what a comeback. And is Patrick Beverley just impressed me enormously. I mean, the idea that he could actually defend Durant. I mean, I just have so much respect for the way Beverley's playing. What do you see here, Babana?
Well, if you're the Golden State Warriors, you were guilty of disrespecting your opponent the other night in blowing a 32-point lead or 31-point lead against the LA Clippers. That's exactly what you were guilty of. You were guilty of disrespecting them because a team that's got a respect for their opponent plays hard for 48 minutes and doesn't say, oh, we're up by this much. We can just go to sleep and turn it off and shut it off like a light switch. That is what Golden State did. And good for the LA Clippers to make them pay the price for it. We're so good we can just step on the court and just, win with our eyes closed kind of mentality. And that's what Golden State had the other night. They paid the price for it. They got complacent. And then when things got tight late in the game, they already were in that mode of, the game was over in the third quarter when we were up 31 and they couldn't rev it up again. And the Clippers ended up coming all the way back with the biggest comeback in NBA playoff history. Now, obviously you would think in theory tonight, Game 3, Golden State plays intense and focused and with a point to prove for 48 minutes tonight. And if that's the case, it's probably going to be trouble for the LA Clippers. But I'm still not rushing to lay 8.5 with Golden State here on the road. This is a hard-trying, hard-working Clippers team. Patrick Beverley, is a guy that gets in your grill, gets in your face. Lou Williams just shot incredibly well the other night for the LA Clippers. It was a big part of what got them back in that basketball game. They just worked their ass off, this team. Andrew Bogut, is going to be in this game now as well, instead of now the injured DeMarcus Cousins, who's not going to suit up. Actually, I think that takes away a lot offensively from Golden State, but I think it's maybe a plus for them defensively. This total is what I'm most interested in this game. I like it under the total. We've seen a zigzag kind of series so far totals-wise. Game 1 stayed under. Game 2 flew over the total. I think we get back to an under here tonight in Game 3. Golden State knows their defense was unacceptable in the second half against the Clippers. I think that's where they really look to shore things up tonight in this game. Clippers aren't a great defensive team, but we're talking about a total. It's 236. It's very high, and it's been adjusted a bit up after what we saw in Game 2. I think this is a good time to go the other way and look under the total. I would think the Golden State Warriors, after that debacle in Game 2, bring some defense to the table tonight.
It was absolutely incredible. Everything that happened was absolutely incredible. I'm still afraid to take an under, even though the market's moved from 237 to 235. And I want to hammer this game a little more on the late show. I need to hear what you have to say about this NHL card and MLB card. So I'm just going to let you break down this spot and move on. But that was a great breakdown of this game. Let's talk NHL as quick as possible because I want to hear what you have to say about this MLB card. What are you thinking is there any spots that you really like here?
Yeah, so far just one bet tonight, Jimmy. I lean to Winnipeg. I heard you talk about the Jets a little bit. I do think they have momentum. I don't think the road team is going to win every single game in this series, and the Jets seem to be getting stronger. Their top players seem to be getting stronger, and I haven't seen quite as much from the Blues' top players, and there's a size edge for Winnipeg. A lot of their players are a little bit bigger than the St. Louis players, and you got to wonder if that wears them down as this series progresses. So I don't love the Jets, but I would certainly bet Winnipeg, not St. Louis, in that game. Washington, Carolina, I'm kind of against you there. I think Carolina, that home ice has been something for them. They came out flying in that game against Washington in Game 3. Now Washington's going to make their adjustments, and they've still had a very good road playoff record in the last couple seasons. But Carolina at home has been terrific. Down the stretch of the regular season, they were great at home. They dominated the Capitals in Game 3. And I think they actually have a puncher's chance to tie the series 2-2. I'm not going to bet Carolina, but I'm going to lean Carolina in that game 2-2. The one bet I made was the over in the Vegas game, San Jose. It's just something I've bet every single game in this series, and I'm 3-1 so far over the total the first 4 games of this series, and it's because San Jose can't play a lick of defense. They can't. Now I know they're going to get Vlasic back. He's their best defensive defenseman for sure, but it's his first game back after missing a couple. Got maybe some time to assimilate. I know you don't always play your best when you return as a defenseman for your first game. You're a little bit, out of sync. It could take him a game to get up to playoff game speed, and the rest of this team ain't defending a lick. Burns is a subpar defender. Erik Karlsson doesn't give you any effort on the defensive end of the ice. You can talk about all the pretty passing and the puck movement, quarterback and the power play, great shot, all that stuff. He doesn't give you any of that at the other end of the ice. He does not play good defensively. That Mark Stone hat-trick goal in the one game, he just let him breeze to the net. Just stood there. Mark Stone, go to the net, score the goal. I won't do anything to impede you. That's Erik Karlsson's defensive effort. It's no wonder he's been on the ice for almost every Vegas goal in this series. And, of course, you got a crisis of confidence in net. Martin Jones has no confidence right now, and they're going back to him. And Aaron Dell's not a guy you can trust as a number one. So Vegas offensively is feeling it. But at home, I think San Jose is not going to get shut out like they were the other night. As good as Fleury and the Vegas defense was, I think San Jose will score some goals. So over 6 -120 in the Vegas-San Jose game. That's my only play in the NHL tonight so far.
Yeah, over 6 makes a lot of sense. What is the juice here in that spot? Quickly, if I could grab that here. Yeah, -119.
-120 at the Greek, -125 at 5 dimes. So you've still got some options at 6.
Yeah, Mr. Ghost said I'd put Dell in before Jones. No, I absolutely not. You can't. Jones has got to figure this out. Jones was bad all year. I don't know why they kept faith in him. That makes sense.
Did you hear what happened the other night when he got pulled? Did you hear what happened with Martin Jones? They couldn't find the guy after the game. They couldn't find him. He disappeared for a period of time. So it's almost like he went to some quiet area or some corner or some little secret room or something to, I don't know, sort out his thoughts, collect his feelings, collect his emotions. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but he disappeared. And this team couldn't find him. Coaches couldn't find him. His teammates couldn't find him. Eventually they did. But, this guy's battling some serious mental, some stress issues, some confidence issues, and it's really affecting him mentally. I'm going to have to see Martin Jones come out and play well before I believe it, because some of the stuff I'm reading, it ain't good when it comes to Martin Jones and his headspace right now.
I did not know that story. That's not a good sign at all. Not a good sign at all. I think that Washington takes care of business in this game. Michael Furland not being in the lineup is a huge, huge loss. His speed and his toughness. Svechnikov became a big piece to this team offensively, and I love the Capitals coming back from a 5-goal loss. I really, really do. Now, we got to make moves here, Babano, but I needed you to help me break down that basketball card, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about this MLB card, because I've got to actually, while you talk MLB, I need to quickly line shop for what I'm going to do with this spot here, this Mariners-Angels game. So do you have anything that you're rocking here in the MLB card?
You know what? I'm going to take early action, small play here, but I'm going to be on Toronto. The Blue Jays, plus 160, plus 155. Oh, some Jays money's come in here. I got plus 162. It's plus 155 now at 5 times, which is where I bet the Blue Jays. I'm going to just hope Clay Buchholz's first start for the Blue Jays was not a mirage, because he was really, really good against a good Tampa Bay Rays team, which has been a much better hitting team than people thought coming into the season. He held them down to 1 run in 6 innings. It was a great start for him. This will be his second start of the season right now. I'm still jury is out mode. The jury is out probably on Buchholz. Don't get me wrong. We'll have to see if he can do it again. But at this price range, the jury's out to me on Pineda. Pineda's coming back from multiple injuries for the Minnesota Twins. Jays have given the Twins everything they can handle so far in this series. Is starting to hit the ball a bit better, starting to get some clutch hitting as well with runners in scoring position, which had been a big problem for Toronto. I just think it's a big price to be laying with Pineda if Buchholz can deliver any kind of performance similar to what he did in his first start. Now, obviously, it's going to be outdoors, Minnesota. Maybe a little bit more difficult here, but I'm going to take a shot here. Big underdog price with Toronto and Buchholz. That maybe his first start was more of a sign of things to come than not.
I get it. Yeah, now we've had different opinions with Buchholz's first start from the chat. Some saying that he got very, very fortunate. But he looked fine. He looked better than fine. I mean, his numbers were great. No walks, 1 earned run in 6. I get that move. I certainly am not going to take Pineda and the Twins here. But I am making a couple moves here. First off, I'm taking the first 5 money line with the Angels. I'm getting minus 112 at 5 dimes. So first 5 minus 112. Then full game. I'm getting full game here with the Angels. I'm getting minus 114 at Pinnacle. So full game minus 114. And then I'm taking the over 9.5. And Pinnacle's already moved it to 10. But I'm taking the over at 9.5 in this game. And I'm getting minus 110 here at 5 dimes. Over 9.5 at minus 110. Man, Babano, I wish we had more time.
No,
I absolutely love.
In and say you're talking about over in the Seattle game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that. That's a play of mine as well. Stratton, I've had Stratton overs already multiple times this season. I don't like Stratton at all. 10 walks in 13 innings, that's terrible. Command control problems. That's my one concern about you taking the Angels. I don't like Stratton at all, but I'm not a big King Felix fan either. And Seattle's struggling. They've lost 6 in a row. But I do think their offense will hit Stratton. The Angels' bullpen is dead tired after the Texas series. They got 4.1, and 5 innings from their starters in that series against Texas. That's a overused, exhausted, taxed Angels bullpen tonight behind Stratton. So I think Seattle's going to get their bats going. But the Angels, I think, are going to hit Felix Hernandez too. He has one good pitch. That's his curveball. He can't barely throw his fastball anymore for anything that can get swings and misses at this stage of his career. Mike Trout has owned Felix Hernandez. I think 365 batting average in his career. So I see runs in bunches in that game as well.
I do too. I mean, Stratton is a strange guy, this guy was a stud coming up, first round pick. And there's been times at home, and the Angels is sort of can play as a pitcher's ballpark. There was times at home where he was excellent. And I'm going to expect better from Stratton here, especially against a Mariners team that's struggling right now. But I can understand your concerns, absolutely understand your concerns with taking Angels first 5 in full game. But I just don't see Hernandez getting out of I don't see Hernandez making it 5 innings. So I've added those 3 plays. So quickly, I'm going to go over my plays quickly. I'm on Capitals plus 113, Jets minus 118. I am going to be on the Nuggets money line, even though everybody thinks it's a terrible, terrible play. I will be on it at some point today. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just watch the market because it just keeps going up and up and up. So I'm going to wait till it's at its highest peak. And then in baseball, I'm on, and I don't like it as much seeing Noli on the other side, but I am on the over 7.5 in Giants Nationals. I did not make a move yet on this White Sox Tigers game. I'm going to keep an eye on it here. We just don't have enough time, and I've been humming and hawing. Well, it's quickly, Babano, we got to end the show, but what do you think about the under in this Blue Jays Twins game, Pineda Buchholz? Oh, you're muted. Come back to me.
There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I agree with that. I would bet that game under the total if I look at the total, because I think you're going to have the starters be all right. Getaway day game. The bullpens have been suspect in this series a little bit, but I think they have maybe a better chance to do the key relievers. I think on both sides should be available as well for this game. So yeah, definitely. I think the under is the way I'd go in that game. And quickly, you know what today is when you see Homer Bailey's name on the marquee. It's Homer Bailey Day. 2 of my plays just before we go. I'm going at it from a side and a total perspective. I got Yankees on the run line, minus 1.5, about minus 120 there, and the over 9 in that game. It's just straight fade Homer Bailey, who's been awful, has a bad track record at Yankee Stadium against this Yankees lineup. I know the Yankees have had a ton of injuries, but they are starting to hit the ball a little bit better in recent games. So Yankee run line and the over 9 in that game. It's fade Homer Bailey Day. Hopefully it cashes in as it has so often lately.
It has so often, but it didn't 5 days ago. I think Bailey has an okay start here. I mean, not a great start, but I think he has an okay start here. I'm just going to stay off the game entirely. But Bino, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry that we have to go. There's so much to talk about, but thank you so much for joining us. Where can we find you on Twitter, and what shows you got coming up?
Yeah, Twitter at Bobano, SBR Play of the Day videos pre-recorded and posted daily, and I'm on the Saturday NBA playoff show, Ski Profit, myself and Drew Martin, Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern time, so be sure to check that out.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for joining. I've got to make these decisions, and we have to close the show. It's just going over, so I'm going to make these decisions and tweet them out on the under in the Jays game and the under in the White Sox Tigers game, because the market's going away from me. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Let's have a very nice start to our day. I'm coming off a big day in baseball, 11-5 yesterday. Want to keep that rolling. Much love to all of you guys. Michael Irvelina saying Bailey's a gas can. Let's end on that. Much love to all you guys. Thank you to our guest, Babano. We have Ski Profit joining us on the Late Show this evening. Leche, a los bookmakers!